Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be discussing my results for week 17 and 18 because I'm sorry I did not get a video uploaded last week. After coming back from my work trip, I was completely exhausted. So I'm going to cut to the chase and then we'll talk about what my struggles were. So for week 17, while I was gone on my work trip, really had to bring all my food with me for the most part. I had lost, which is great, 0.7 inches, and I had lost 0.9 pounds. So I'm happy with that because of the fact I was sitting in meetings from morning to evening and completely exhausted. So going to bed as soon as pretty much the meetings were over and not having a whole lot available for me to eat. So I cooked up 6 pounds of bacon before I left, and I brought bacon with me, and the different places that I stopped, well, it wasn't different places, it was different McDonald's I stopped just to order just plain burger patties. And that was what I ate for the whole week. And I was still on crutches, so I wasn't able to move around a whole lot. So I'm happy with those results given the circumstances. And it was a 20-hour drive there and a 20-hour drive back. There really wasn't a whole lot of movement going on. Now, week 18, partway through the week, I went to the doctor and the doctor said, I no longer need to be in the boot if I feel comfortable walking around in the house on shoes. I still need to be in the boot if I'm outside or on unstable ground, but in the house, if I don't feel any pain, I have healed enough that I can walk around. So now I feel so much more freedom because I'm not walking in that stupid boot unlevel. Anyway, I'm very happy about that. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get more steps in. And so week 18, there are some changes. I lost 1.7 inches and another 2 pounds. So some of that has to do with I was home. I had more variety of food to eat, eating when I felt hungry, and I had more movement on top of it. Now, I was still tired, but not as bad as the week before. So overall, since I started Carnivore, since the 1st of January, I am at a loss of 9.4 inches and a loss of 16.1 pounds. So very happy with that. I'm almost like week 13 is where I was at my all-time low. And then my fracture in my foot happened and I was laid up and not able to move. And I was definitely overeating, eating more than I needed to, eating out of boredom. So I am much happier now because if I feel hungry, I can walk away. I can walk around the house, and that has helped the mindless eating stop. So I'm so happy with that. I'm so happy with that. So just from this week to last week, 1.7 inches loss and 2 pounds. I have no idea what to expect for this next week as I'm getting more steps in. I'm hopeful that it'll continue. Now, with this whole trip and being gone and having just extreme exhaustion, I am more aware. I'm just assuming it's my thyroid flared up from just overexhaustion and not being able to stay on a schedule and not being, I wasn't able to eat when I would normally want to eat because I was in meetings or there was designated times, and I was struggling with that. And then when I came home, I was going to bed early, and then we had a time change with the traveling in different time zones, and now coming back and having a time change for daylight savings time. I do like that it's light in the morning, but I am having a hard time staying awake at night, and I'm noticing the time window where I can get outside and get my vitamin D is shrunk, like huge, compared to just a month ago when I was doing my circadian rhythm and looking at the times for when I was able to go ahead and be out and see the UVA and UVB light rays. That time frame is down to about an hour and a half, and it was closer to 5-6 hours. So and I know I need to be more aware of that with my thyroid, so I have to be even more mindful now. Now, I did not stick to doing anything according to my circadian rhythm while I was on my trip, because I wasn't the one determining my schedule. So I'm like, I don't know how things are going to go, but I am getting closer. There's autoimmune protocol. I am getting closer to what I'm going to call the end of it, because I'm supposed to be on it for 3 months and then do my blood work again and test to see how my levels change. I am really not seeing any improvement as far as energy. It's been horrible. I'm sleeping longer again, like just being gone for a work trip and then coming back and just to be exhausted for a whole week. Days I'm going to class, again, being exhausted the next day. And that's like one of my busier days of the week. And I had to rearrange some of my meetings to allow myself to rest, because I've been noticing how just drained I am. I never used to be like that. Even 6 months ago, it wasn't like that. So I'm really struggling with that. So I don't know if it has to do with the autoimmune protocol, or if my body is like really like I'm craving eggs. I'm back to craving eggs like I was, like more so in the beginning. Like, I can't wait to have eggs again, and that's why I don't feel like this is really working for me. Carnivore, I felt a lot better. This carnivore autoimmune protocol is, I'm not sure, but I'm very excited to get my blood work, to get my labs. And first thing I'm adding, I haven't decided. I'm thinking I'm going to do egg yolks and then whole eggs, just in case if I have a reaction by adding a whole egg, then I have to go back and test the egg yolks and then test the egg whites. And so I'm going to try egg yolks. If I have a reaction, test egg whites. And if that's good, and just go from there to determine if it's a certain part of the egg that I would have a reaction to, or if I can have a whole egg. So I've been thinking through how I'm going to do that, what I want to do first. And that is the first thing I'm excited to add back. And I'm hoping, like, I used to do eggs almost daily. And I'm kind of wondering if like some of my lack of energy has to do with the nutrients I would easily be able to get from eggs that I might not be getting in my food right now, with so many things I feel like I'm limited to. So that is something I'm going to be interested in learning, my N=1 experiment, to see how it works for me. So that is a wrap for my week 17 and 18 results. I'm sorry, I know even this week was late, because I got up, I did my measurements, and I just had absolutely no energy and no motivation. And like I said, I've really been struggling. since coming back. No, when I went on my trip, I did do one little mess up. We were driving through the night all the way through, and I did have a few energy drinks to help me get through. And then what happened? I knew this was going to happen. I had more cravings. My cravings came back. And yeah, so that week that I came back and, I had lost, but it wasn't much. It probably could have been better, but it is what it is. I'm just happy not to be in a boot anymore around the house and be able to walk around. I have not met any goals the last 2 weeks, and I'm trying to get back on track. November has just been horrible for me with the, actually it was probably end of October too. Yeah, it was October, not November. November just started. October has been horrible with my foot and being laid up and not being able to hit my goals. And it was October 1st is when I was at my low for weight and my low for inches. And I am so close to being back to where I was. So I am happy about that I can be laid up for 4 to 6, over 4 weeks and still be close to that all-time low goal weight. So hopefully next week I'm able to beat that. I'm working for. That's what I'm rooting for. I'm like, I can beat that. I can get back down to where I was, and I can beat that. So that's what I'm hoping for week 19. I'm been able to get in the sauna and get my sauna goals in. My number of steps were horrible since I couldn't move around. I was at like 1,000 to 2,000 steps a day. I've been tracking closer to 5,000 steps a day. And I'm hoping to get back up to the 10,000, maybe not this, it might not be able to do it on a regular basis this week, but maybe next week. I do find if I'm on my feet too much and I don't have enough support, they are swelling. So I do need to take breaks and elevate them, but I know I'm pushing myself, but I'm hoping to get back to getting my sauna. I'm going to be doing some weightlifting, mainly upper body and core, because most of my leg exercises are going to need to put weight on my foot that I'm not sure is going to be good. And I haven't tracked any of my food or my protein, and I need to get back to doing that because I think that is part of my issue as well, not getting enough protein. So that's a wrap. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing, and we will see you next week. Hopefully I can get the video out sooner. Thanks.